Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Alright, I've got a second set of tips as submitted by Alex, who is an active member in our community from solarvstudio.com. Here, in this particular video, we're going to be reading over the shooting tips for both SLR, talking about digital cameras, digital SLR, single lens reflex, and point-and-shoot cameras. And some of these may sound basic if you've already been taking pictures on a digital camera or a regular camera, but keep in mind that these are some pretty basic tips that you would hand to someone who isn't used to digital photography or photography in general. Number one, focus and then shoot. How many functions does the picture taker button have? 1, taking a photo. 2, focus activating. And 3, entering and selecting. Share that with your friends. So before jamming on the button, press the button halfway down on the camera. It'll take a second to show you if it's in focus, and then most cameras will even show you where it's focusing in on, and then press the button all the way down. So remember, point, halfway, then all the way. That's the way it works. Number 2, learn to set your white balance. White balancing helps your camera capture true life colors or capture creative colors. It must be set manually in every location that has more than one light source, like shooting in a house with the lights in the room and the sunlight from a window. Manual white balance is a must when shooting without a flash. YouTube the camera white balance to get a better understanding of how your camera sees the world. After taking pictures with manual white balance, don't forget to set your white balance to auto. Some people forget they're in manual, so a day later they take a few pictures and then realize that something didn't look right. Also, if you will ever have to pull the camera out to take a quick shot, it'll already be in auto, and then you won't have to waste time switching and missing the shot. Learn to set your light meter position. Ever taken a picture and it was too bright or too dark? By default, the camera is set to multimeter mode, so if taking a picture of a person wearing lots of white or standing by something bright, the picture will turn out dark. Or, if a person wearing lots of black or standing in a dark area, the face may be too bright. Most cameras can switch to a center point meter. When switched to center point, point the center mark at the person's face, press the button halfway, the camera will set the brightness and focus, and then move the camera into a position you want the person to be in the picture. Don't make the mistake of pointing the center point to a person's face and taking the pictures. Those photos look bad. But remember, when you press the button halfway down, the camera locks all the settings so you can move the frame around. And again, this is talking about light metering, switching to center point mode. Lock your ISO. ISO is the camera's sensitivity. This is a process that takes place after the picture is taken, digitally brightening some of the pixels, So the higher the number, the sensitivity, the worse quality you may or will possibly get. Although you can get a brighter picture with a higher sensitivity, a higher ISO, the picture will come out grainy and noisy. So by locking the ISO lower, the camera will have to use other options to get the picture brighter. Experiment with it and learn more about ISO. It'll really help you out. So again, the lower the ISO, the more steady you're going to have to hold your camera, but then because it's got to let in more light in order to take the picture, but the image will come out less grainy, less what they call noisy. Use force flash outside. This is a big one. Some cameras fire the flash no matter what, and others only get it when it's darker. I don't think there's a camera that does not have a force flash setting, usually represented by a lightning symbol without an A by it. Force flash helps you get rid of dark faces or shadows in a beautiful daylight. It's called fill flash. Play around with it, and sometimes you need it, and sometimes you don't, but knowing that can improve your photos. If the background is brighter than your subjects, use a flash, even in broad daylight. Big tip there. Now, you also need to learn how to set the flash strength. Rule of thumb. At night, shoot with a lower setting, and in the daytime, crank it up. Sounds weird, right? But if the flash is set too high in low light, not only will it blind your subject, but the camera will have to compensate for the strong flash, and the picture will come out darker. During the day, it's already bright, so small flash will not help get rid of shadows that may be on the face or in the foreground. Use less flash. Ever try to take a picture, but it never comes out looking like it's supposed to? It's amazing what you can get without a flash, ironically, in lower light. Sometimes the flash is too bright for the situation, or will only light up the closest object, or will make the picture lose the feel desired. Like shooting a Christmas tree. Picture taken with a flash will lose the beauty of the lights on the tree, or candle-lit dinner will look like a plain dinner with a candle in the middle. So experiment without a flash, but remember to hold your camera steady. That might be where it comes a monopod comes in handy. And that's just a tripod with just one leg. Well, not really a tripod at that point. It's a one-leg pod, mono. Set up closer. When shooting in low light, get closer to your subject rather than zooming in. Because of the small-sized lens, more zoom equals less light entering into the lens. So walking up closer to the subject will help with getting a better quality photo. Get a tripod. Shooting in low light requires a steady hand. Even a slight vibration of the hand can make a blurry photo. Instead of raising the ISO, remember the sensitivity, use a tripod. Most pros use it, always. Tripod can also help when taking a picture of a baby. Simply mount the camera on the tripod position of the frame and concentrate on entertaining the baby. When the baby smiles, hit the button and you'll get the shot. Tripod is very handy in many situations, so have one around. Another thing I'll throw into there for catching subjects like babies or pets is going to multiple, like a picture shooting mode. And that way you just basically hold the shutter down. It keeps that's the sound. That's not what your camera sounds like. If it does, you probably want to take it back to the store. Balance the quality. Shoot at a highest quality setting, but not the highest pixel amount. Setting a camera to use less megapixels while setting the superfine quality can improve low light shots. Most cameras, when set to lower pixel rates, combine pixels to create a larger one instead of downsizing the photo, which helps in low light. Also, when using a digital zoom, some cameras take advantage of unused pixels to help out sharpness and quality. Check to see in the menus for different digital zoom settings if your camera can do that. You may get less zoom than a default mode, but the quality will be much better. But, an addendum, use digital zoom sparingly. Despite all the advertisements, digital zoom should only be used in emergencies. More digital zoom equals less quality photo. Also, if the camera does not have a smart digital zoom function, talked about in the other tip there, then consider shooting in highest quality and highest pixel count and then cropping the photo on the computer. Some pros will argue that this is the best way to digitally zoom in on a photo and get the best quality out of it on the computer. And trust me, 3 optical zoom, I held up 4 fingers, but I meant 3 optical zoom is not zoom, and it will not help you get closer to your son's soccer game as advertised. Anything less than 5 optical zoom is basically a cropping tool that will help you cut things out of the shot when you can't move. So if you need a zoom, consider a camera with a more optical zoom function. Those cameras may be a bit slower and bigger and likely more expensive. And that's an important thing. And just to clarify that, digital zoom, you take the picture, but what it does, have you ever cropped a picture like on your computer? Like you had but you only wanted, like, you had a big photo, but you only wanted that part of it, so you took that part of it and then you made it bigger and then it didn't look right? That's what digital zoom is. It just does that on the camera. It's absolutely, well, I think it's worthless. Other people would argue opposite. Otherwise, just don't pay attention to the digital zoom. Pay attention to the optical zoom. That is the true zoom of the lens. Of course, the quality of the lens is also important. Alex, thanks again for this set of tips, core basics in using a camera, whether it be an SLR or a point and shoot. These are all important things to explore. And of course, for your other video that we just recorded, the core basics in choosing a camera. Appreciate the top tips that you send, folks. You send me your top tips. I usually do top 5. That was a little more than 5. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. I'd love to share any set of tips that you might have, whether it be related to photography or technology or, well, just anything in general. And it's typically because we're talking about technology in our live stream. We have like video and audio that we send out over the internet every day, 24 hours a day, as a matter of fact, 7 days a week. And you can join us in our chat room. And just to do that, number one, you have to be a good person. And number two, well, just go to your web browser and type in live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.